Okay, so this is not a video inception. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex. Last year in December 27th, 2020, I made a video discussing the top 10 characters that I was expecting to get tier 3 and upgrades for 2020. And then in 2020, I did it for 2021. Sorry, just focus on my face right here. So anyways, what we're doing in this video today is I'm basically going to be looking back. I have the list already. We're going to look back at my predictions last December. We're rewinding almost 12 months, and we're seeing how correct I was last year. And then I'm going to make new predictions for 2022. Should be very exciting stuff because I always love making predictions. We want to see more Transcendent, more tier 3 characters, and there's a mixture of sort of guarantees or almost guarantees and big time speculation in this video as far as the MCU is concerned, because we know the MCU sculpts a lot of Marvel Future Fight updates, but not all of them, and not this year, especially with all of the delays. So in the video here, I went ahead and made my case, sort of justification for characters that I thought were going to get a tier 3. I was right about 5 of them, and I was wrong about 5 of them. Some of the highlights include I thought the Ultimates would get a tier 3, which I was correct about. It was Blue Marvel, but I thought it was going to be Richard Rider, because he's more expensive. That was my thought there with him. I also thought because of the chapter 11 in the story mode, where it's the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I thought that we were going to get Daisy Johnson Quake tier 3 to match that update. I was completely wrong about that, but I correctly guessed characters like Hela. I correctly guessed characters like Daredevil, and a couple of others. So I'll give you guys the full list here. Last year, my predictions were Shang-Chi, Daredevil, Richard Rider, Quake, Hela, Ultron, the Taskmaster Elena combo that had been data mined, Strife, Cable, and Doom. So I was right about Shang-Chi, Daredevil, which Daredevil was a bit of a swing in the dark, but Shang-Chi was guaranteed. I was also right about Hela, which was from the voting, but it was very recently. And then I was also right about Cable and Doom, and my reasoning for Cable and Doom was basically that I expected the devs to try to give us as many high-cost tier 3s as possible. Funny that I didn't choose the Black Order, but yeah, so basically they sort of did what I was expecting, just not as heavily as I was expecting them to do. So 5 out of 10 is not bad. Not bad considering that there was really only 2 of the 5 that I got correct that were shoo-in, right? Hela was a shoo-in because she was voted, and Shang-Chi was a shoo-in because of the movie, but that's it, right? And Taskmaster and Yelena actually don't count as part of the 10 that I voted. So yeah, 3 out of the 5 that I got correct were basically shots in the dark. So I kind of like those odds. So this year, we're going to be making a brand new prediction. So these are characters that I think are going to be getting a tier 3 in 2022. And there are quite a few, like I've said, that are MCU inspired. And so those are kind of easy choices. But my number 10 is actually Magic. And the reason for Magic is I think 2022 is the year of the mutants in Marvel Future Fight. I think we're going to be looking back on 2022 and we're going to be like, man, there were a lot of mutant updates. There is a lot of MCU content in terms of movies and TV shows and Disney Plus stuff, but I don't know, something just I just feel like mutants are going to make a big comeback in 2022. And we've seen the massive expansion of the House of X Powers of 10 content from 2019. Like or 2018, like it's really expanded, and they've got so many different books going on right now. They're doing the whole like Choose Your Destiny storylines right now, and those are branching off like crazy. So I feel like with all of these branch offs, they're gonna want the games to participate on some level as well. And Magic just seems to be really hot right now, sort of like Hansel. That Hansel, he's so hot right now. I don't know if it's the legs, if it's the hair, if it's the bangs, or if it's the big gigantic soul sword. I don't know, but Marvel Strike Force added her like a couple days ago. Marvel Future Revolution has been trying to download her for months now. I don't know what's going on there, but it's just like she just seems to be in every game, and so she's already in this game. And the only thing left to basically for her to get a tier 3, get an upgrade there. So that is my guess for Magic. That's my 10th guess. My 9th guess is a little bit easier. It's Green Goblin. And Green Goblin is because of the Spider-Man No Way Home movie that is coming out very, very soon. I don't think we're going to be seeing the update for that in December, because there is no full December update for Marvel Future Fight generally, historically. But I think in January, we'll definitely see Green Goblin come back to his speed roots, get a tier 3, possibly look more like Willem Dafoe. I don't know. I'm not trying to spoil the movie for you. But yes, it's high time that Spider-Man's greatest arch nemesis gets a tier 3 to match his web crawling his web crawling enemy. So yeah, I'm big banking on Green Goblin. I'll also give you some auxiliary guesses here. This is not part of my top 10, but I do think Mysterio and Electro are going to be seeing transcendences to go along with Green Goblin at number 9. Before we get to number 8, I want to say RIP to Morbius. For those of you guys wondering, well, if the Spider-Man movie's coming out and they're going to do something for Sony, aren't they going to do something for Morbius? Hell no! The reason why they're not going to be doing anything for Morbius is because Morbius already has his Transcendence. I don't even know where Morbius is. But yeah, he already has his Transcendence, and that's basically all she wrote. He can't get another Transcendence, you doofs. Yeah, maybe he could get a uniform, I guess, but that's basically all this is. And personally, I hate Jared Leto, so I'm going to inject a little bit of personal bias into this video and just thumbs down him all the way to the bank. The next character that I think is going to be getting my 8th selection here for a tier 3 would be Hawkeye. And Hawkeye's most recent uniform doesn't look like the one in the show, so we'll go ahead with this cringy one here. But I do think that the original Hawkeye, not the new Kate Bishop Hawkeye, is going to get a tier 3 for the Disney Plus show. I would guess it's going to be somewhere in February or March, way after the show is over. So, the time frame may not line up exactly with my picks here. I'm trying to do them chronologically, but yeah, as an auxiliary selection here, I do think Kate Bishop is going to see a transcendence, and she might actually even be better than Hawkeye. That would be pretty funny, but I could almost see that happening in typical, surprise Marvel Future Fight fashion. Coming in at number 7, we have another character from the MCU. Basically, my first 5 picks from 10 to 5 are MCU picks, and the last 5 are sort of just my own Hail Mary type stuff here. But yeah, my pick here for number 7 is Wiccan. And I'm looking at this from the point of view of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. My other choice here at number 7 was going to be America Chavez, but America Chavez, I don't know. Oh, wait, no, she's transcended. Never mind, that answers that question. I knew there was a reason why I didn't choose her. Anywho, yeah, it's going to be Wiccan, because Scarlet Witch already has her tier 3, Doctor Strange already has his tier 3, Chavez already has her Transcendence. There are very few characters left. Mephisto's already in the game. If he's going to appear in the movie, we don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not missing anyone else that has been revealed to be in that movie. So the only ones left is Wiccan as an auxiliary to Scarlet Witch. They could do something else. They could do Baron Mordo. There's a lot of other things they could do. I guess you could say Wong, but I think this kind of character has a lot more value and a lot more, like, it'll be cooler, right? If you, no offense, but the advertising for Wong tier 3 is just going to be Benedict Wong. Like is it Benedict Wong? I think that's his name. The guy who plays, I don't think it's Benedict Wong. I don't know what his name is. Sorry to the actor that plays Wong. But yeah, but for Wiccan, he's got this like cosmic, he's got really, really powerful, cool skills, and he can do a lot. And he's a sorcerer, like, he's a magician, sorcerer kind of guy. So, it should look a lot cooler in terms of the advertising for it, for in-game stuff. At number 6, again, we have another MCU-based guess here. We have Thor Jane Foster. I think this one is a pretty easy pick for Thor Love and Thunder, which should be coming out in 2022. She's been terrible forever, and she's never gotten a uniform. So this will be a huge slam dunk for Marvel Future Fight fans of her, and for the game in general. She'll get a new uniform. She'll get a tier 3. And it'll be sort of happy days. If we can also get a rework / transcendence for Angela and maybe the Warriors 3, that would be the cream on top of the cake, I guess, as the saying doesn't go. And then last but not least, at number 5 here, again, this is the last MCU related guess. I have Kamala Khan. Now, this is not the newest and the most correct uniform for Kamala Khan, but this would be for the Disney Plus show. The only odd thing is going to be whether or not her powers change in the games, because for those of you who haven't been keeping track of this, they're changing how her powers look in the TV show, so it doesn't, people are speculating they're doing that so it doesn't conflict with Reed Richards, like Mr. Fantastic's stretching powers, because they're basically the same kind of thing. And so she's going to have like a ring, kind of like the... what are they called? Those guys from the DC universe, the lanterns. She's gonna have a ring that's sort of like the lantern, where her will kind of comes out of the ring and will manifest as a big fist or whatever to sort of like imitate or mimic her powers. I don't really care what they're doing for the TV show, but I am guessing that she's gonna get a tier 3 or a transcendence. in 2022. And that about does it for the easier to speculate on guesses for tier 3s in 2022. Those are my top bottom 5 picks from 10 to 5. RIP to Ultron as well. I'm not going to be putting him on this list. I put Ultron on my list for 2 or 3 years in a row, and they've let me down. So I know you guys watched What If, and you're like, oh man, Ultron looks so cool. I know he looks so cool. I want What If Ultron with the spear and all the gems in his head. I want that, but I don't think we're going to get that, and I want to stop letting myself down. More importantly, I want to stop letting you down. So now we're going to get into phase 2, which is what I like to call Alex throwing darts at the wall. Coming up at number 4, I think for whatever reason that Nick Fury is going to get a tier 3. Call me crazy, but they know, the devs know that players need more supports, they need more buffs, they want us to climb higher in content. Even with, you know, maximum whaleage for brilliant CTPs, you still can't get to stage 99 of Null and Mephisto. So the devs are going to look at that and they're going to say, 1 year later, you know, Godzilla spent $1 billion and he still can't beat 99 of Null. We got to fix this problem. We got to help Alex get past stage 50 of Null. So we're going to throw Nick Fury, we're going to throw them a bone here. And he's just going to be, you know, I don't know, mid-month, some random mid-month tier 3 that vaguely connects with the main update. Maybe he'll be in the mid-month after the Hawkeye Disney Plus update, because, you know, Hawkeye, Agents of Shield, Nick Fury, boom, 7 degrees of separation. I don't really have a big justification for Nick Fury. It's more about what the community, quote unquote, needs. You know, with characters like Wave, characters like White Fox, they're not that popular, but they were chosen because of their buffs, right? Mystique, well, Mystique was the first Transcendence character, so bad example there. But you kind of get what I'm saying with these sort of support-only type characters. I think there are more to come. And then my last 4 picks for 3, or my last 3 picks for 3, 2, and 1 are mutants. Like I said, I think 2022 is the year of the mutants. I had to select Green Goblin down to Kamala Khan because of the MCU theme, and then Nick Fury was the only one that I just thought was a logical idea. But Magic, my 10th pick, and my last 3 picks are all mutants because I do think that mutants are going to make a huge comeback. 2021 saw very little on the mutant meter to move the needle, and I think the devs want to play this sort of back and forth seesaw game where 1 year they're gonna, you know, bring mutants down and bring everybody else up, and you invest in all these characters, and then the next year, ooh, whoopsie doozy, these characters are gonna go down in value because the mutants are gonna come up in value, and then everyone's gonna shift their spending and shift their resources back to the mutants. Again, I'm not saying this is gonna happen, but this is kind of my guess. So at number 3, we have Psylocke. I think she's an excellent choice for a tier 3, excuse me. A lot of people were hoping that she got a tier 3 this year in March when we had the mutant update around the Swords, X of Swords sort of mini comic run as Captain Britain. She didn't get that. She doesn't even have the name Psylocke anymore. She's given that name up to Quanon, I believe. So she is now just Betsy Braddock or Captain Britain. She's probably not Captain Britain anymore. But anywho, we may see a name change, but I do definitely think Psylocke gets a tier 3, and it's an easy one because she's a more expensive type of character. And then at number 2, I think Sentinel is also going to get a tier 3 because with a bunch of mutant updates, with a bunch of mutant characters getting buffed up, I believe that it's only a matter of time before this more sort of paywall counter to the mutants gets added. Because Marvel Future Fight loves to give us, you know, a tool, a brand new tool, and then give us the counter to that tool a little while later. You know, they give us Sentry, and then a few months later they drop Doctor Doom, or, you know, the case Null in that case, and then Mephisto, and then Doom. You kind of get the point. So yeah, I do think Sentinel is due, and he's so cool, man. He's just super duper cool, and hopefully his tier 3 will be dope because I really want to get back to using him. And then at number 1, the character that I think is most likely, this is kind of weird. I don't know if I agree with this one myself, but I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't want to put Psylocke. I don't want to put Sentinel number 1. Who could I honestly put number 1 that makes sense? And then I thought about usage rates, and I thought about the devs looking through and saying, okay, we need to tier 3, you know, 10 different mutants or whatever. We need to tier 3 like 5 mutants. 10 would be too many. So we're going to tier 3 Psylocke, we're going to tier 3 Sentinel, blah, 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 blah. We're going to transcend this character and this character. Who else could we tier 3? I think they could tier 3 Kid Omega. I'm probably going to be wrong about this one, but if you look at the usage rates, he's probably much, much higher than most other mutants, even though he's much less popular because of the Phoenix Force stage in Shadowland. I know there's way more popular mutants, you know, Sabretooth, Juggernaut, Dakin, Emma Frost, Iceman. There's way more popular mutants, don't get me wrong. He's not here number 1 for popularity, but in terms of usage rates, which characters are being used the most by the player base, he's definitely going to be, I would bet he's in the top 5 for all mutants in Marvel Future Fight, if not top 5, at least top 10. And he's got a really cool 5th skill. And it sort of makes sense. This is sort of like my Nick Fury pick. It's more about how the devs are seeing the data for the community's point of view and what we're using, rather than quote unquote like what we want in terms of popularity, because they do choose what we want popularity wise, but not all the time. They're not always ruled by popularity. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of my top 10. We'll see next December how correct I was this time around. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.